show you a shortcut to decorating a cake and make it really, really beautiful without a lot of fuss. Of course, you can make your own cake, and I have recipes for that. This is a yogurt orange cake, and I actually made 2 of the 9-inch round cakes, but sometimes you can find these in the stores already baked and just plain, or you can ask your local baker to just make these for you, and you can tier them. So that's what we're going to do with this particular recipe. And so the frosting, quote unquote, is really just a few simple ingredients. We're not using confectioner's sugar or anything like that. So that's what I love about this, because you can do it in a variety of ways, but the main ingredient is, in this case, mascarpone cheese. You can use creme fraiche or even cream cheese if you want. And really all I do is get the mascarpone and bring it closer to room temperature, because when it's cold, it's very hard to deal with or to work with and get it soft. Now, mascarpone is an Italian cheese, and it's not sweet, so you have to add a little bit of honey or sugar if you like things a little sweeter. And because it's a little bit tough, you want to add some heavy cream or like whipping cream or half and half, or even milk. If you just have milk, that's fine, just not water. And so I'm just gonna add a little bit of this heavy cream. And you can do this with a spoon or a whisk, but I think if you have the electrical beaters, it's gonna happen so much faster that it's gonna get all the lumps out and everything that you want. So now we're adding some honey instead of sugar. So I do about a generous 1 to 2 tablespoons. Now I wanna frost this entire cake in all its tiers. So I'm gonna have to make it thin enough to achieve that, but not watery. So you have to really watch the frosting as you're beating it. So just doing this on low speed until I get all of the lumps out. And it's still a little bit thick. I'm gonna check out the consistency. That's really nice, and it is spreadable at this point, but I think I want it to be a little more spreadable. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of the whipping cream. Now, one other ingredient I really want to have in here is lemon zest or orange zest or some kind of citrus zest. So I'm just gonna take 1 organic lemon and zest away. It's gonna add a lot of really nice and fresh flavor. And we're gonna add this on the top of the cake too for color, but it tastes amazing when you add it in. So after I add the lemon zest, I'm just gonna beat it up again. Okay, and that's it, done. Now, I like to use a cake stand, the same cake stand that I'm going to serve the cake on, and begin the frosting. Now, a little trick I learned from a baker is just to add a little bit of the frosting at the bottom, just to kind of give it some grip. You don't have to add a lot, just a little. So the first layer is gonna go right there, and we add our frosting. Now, I'm not going to be too specific about, it being perfect right here on this layer, because I really also want to just give the cake some grip. And I'm going to finish the cake off on the side. So that's where I really want people to, see the pretty edges and so on and so forth. But when people bite into this, you do want to have enough cream so the middle is nice and creamy. Okay, now just add the top. And here's where I'm gonna really, really lay it on. And it doesn't have to look like a perfect cake. This has a rustic flair. So I want things to be, sort of, just not so perfect. Really just kind of very carefree, and use this spatula to create some swirls here, you know. You can add some to the edges, of course, if you want to go all the way around, or you could just leave it like that and concentrate on the top of the cake. But since I have enough, I think what I'll do is sort of, you know, spread it a little bit. And once this goes into the fridge, it's going to harden, and that's what I really want to do, because this mascarpone has been out a little bit so that I could, you know, work with it easier, so that it would soften. But I want to put this back in the fridge and get really nice and hardened. You don't want to leave this out all day. It is cheese, and it's a dairy product, so it won't last all day out. So if you're going to serve this cake, serve it right from the fridge. And that way everybody's piece of cake will have a really nice firm texture. Okay, so I love cake stands because you can just literally just whirl them around. So again, it's really not, you know, perfect, but it's pretty. Okay, so now the topping that I really love here is beautiful natural products that are going to make this so gorgeous. Okay, now I like a variety of colors, and I love the summertime, the springtime colors like lemons, oranges, pistachios. The greens, the yellows, and the oranges are just make it really pop. You can also add pomegranate, so I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on top, but first let's start with the pistachios. Now I have to just sort of chop them up a little bit fine. You can do bigger chunks, but I kind of want to do a little bit of small chunks, a little bit of bigger chunks, and give it some variety. This is, I think, if there's one ingredient you must have on the top, it's the pistachio. I think that's what makes it so gorgeous. Literally just spreading it on top. And that's it. You know, don't worry about the sides too much. Let things fall, and that's it. Okay, now I have some pre-zested orange zest. I'm gonna add that to the top. If you let this sit out after zesting it, it's gonna get a little hard, and that's fine. So you can do the zesting part, you know, at the time of serving if you want it really, really, really nice and fresh. But I think you could get away with having it done even earlier. And of course you have lemon zest already in the frosting, but why not give it a little bit more on top? It just tastes so fresh. Everyone loves the taste of this freshness, and that's what really wows people, is the citrus zest. Nice, very, very nice. Okay, now you can leave it like that, or you can be brave and open up the pomegranate. I literally just cut through. Luckily this one isn't too juicy, so it's not splashing all over me. And look at those gorgeous pomegranate seeds. Now we've really outdone ourselves. It's really popping. It looks like it could be a cake for any special party, and it doesn't take a long time, especially if you're buying the cake ready-made, but we will have the recipe available so that you can make this yourself. It's a yogurt, olive oil, and orange cake, but you can use a pound cake or even an angel food cake, anything that you can frost. And that's it. Just a few minutes and you're offering your guests a beautiful, whimsical, earthy, decorative cake.